All right, guys, we are back once again with the best 5 minutes of your day and have a really awesome session for you if you are an athlete who is suffering from tight traps. Maybe you're stressed out, maybe you're sitting behind a desk a whole lot and you're doing something like this and your head is kind of poking forward and you're doing everything in the world to try to release these tight suckers, but nothing seems to be working. I'm going to give you a recipe of exercises that you could do on a daily basis to loosen that up so your shoulder, so your lower back can feel a whole lot better and you don't have to worry about this being such a problem. Now, if we follow the corrective exercise process, we know that the first step in releasing tight traps is trying to calm them down first. That's why the first piece of equipment that you're going to need and is very valuable for your gym bag or just by your nightstand or just with you at all times is a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. The technique that I'm going to show you is a way to calm that muscle down, but it's also a way to kind of isolate it, and if there's trigger points in there, knock them out. We're going to be using what's called a vice technique, which basically means we're going to be putting pressure on both ends of the trap muscle. I'm going to take this to the ground and show you this and then kind of walk you through the steps to not only release it, but to lengthen it out and then strengthen the lower traps, which get really weak during this. Take a look at this real quick. So I'm going to act like my right trap is tight. When I put the ball on my trap, it's going to be right about in this area right here. So essentially, I'm going to be lying on my back with the ball in that spot. And right away, like if your traps are tight, you're going to feel this right away. And just holding it there is going to be a good idea. You want a little bit more pressure, you're going to do two things. Number one, you're going to pop your butt up into kind of a bridge position, pushing through your heels and raising through your toes. And that's going to get it pretty good. Again, if you found a tender spot, it's a good idea just to hold it for about 30 seconds. The second technique is going to be an active release technique. So this just involves the muscle doing its job. How I'm going to do this is almost like I'm pulling a sword out of my pocket. My thumb is going to start off down, and then I'm going to work on rotating my thumb down to going overhead to facing down again. So it's a rotational pattern that we go through with this. For many athletes, again, this will be good enough. But if we're really trying to get after this, we're going to do what's called a vice technique. So I'm going to take this opposite hand and I'm going to use these fingers and push down on it on the top of the muscle right here. And then I'm just going to go through the pattern. And same thing. You can pop your hips up. So again, one more time. The way that it looks, if you want to get up close and personal here, is ball goes in the back. And then you take your fingertips and put it right on the opposite side of the trap. And you can kind of see when I do this, the muscle kind of bunches up a little bit. Then the action of your arm is to, again, like you're pulling a sword out. So my thumb is facing the side of my hip, and then it's just rotating through and overhead. This is a lengthening technique to help kind of take the muscle and just rub it across the ball a little bit so we can really get after those trigger points and kind of break up the adhesions. Again, tender spot is 30 seconds. Stretch, you could give it up to 2 minutes of that pass through, but probably 10 to 15 repetitions is about all you're going to be able to tolerate. So that's kind of step number one. It's an active release technique for many athletes. Good enough, you could probably stop there. But if you want to graduate this and fully follow the corrective exercise process, we know that the next step is like stretch. Donna, thank you for checking in. It's early for you too. The next step is to try to lengthen this muscle out. So a great way that we could do this is from a seated position in a chair, okay? So what you're gonna do with this is take your hand and hold the bottom of the chair, or in this case, the box, and then to stretch it, you're just gonna provide a little bit of a lean to the side. And you could see that this takes this whole area from the base of my neck down to my arm and stretches it out. How you're gonna top this off though, is you're just gonna take your head do a little bit of rotation over that shoulder, and this really gets a good stretch. Let me just kind of show you from this side real quick. Again, what I'm talking about with my hand, again, it's a hook here, and then just a lean down, and then you're going to feel this stretch, and then you can do an active release stretch by taking your head and kind of rotating it across. Again, give it up to 2 minutes of doing that. 10 to 15 repetitions is going to be very, very good stuff. Now, many athletes kind of know that in principle. They just don't top it off. We're trying to strengthen the weaker muscle, which is the lower traps, kind of sits below the upper traps. an easy way that you could activate this muscle is just by doing a W. So a W, you're still going to be in a seated position, your elbows will be at your sides, and then all you're going to do is take your thumbs and kind of work on rotating them back. And you're going to feel a whole lot of muscle just activating here, the back half of your shoulders, the bottom of your shoulder blades, but then the one that's working to kind of counteract the upper traps from doing this is your lower traps. So you're going to try to pull your shoulder blades down your side. So again, from the side, my goal is to try to bring my thumb past my body and just hold it really. If you're activating muscle, we need some time under tension, okay? And what it looks like from behind, if you can't see it, it's something like that. Right there. Whew. These drills, if nothing else, are like a good wake-up call for some muscles that aren't doing their job. So try that. Try that right now, and you're going to see right away that a lot of stuff is going on that maybe you're missing out in your own training. Anyways, you guys got questions, comments, concerns about that or anything else, let me know right away. Again, everything is still on sale. In Southern California, it's still Black Friday. Every day is Black Friday. It's like Groundhog's Day. It's the same day every day. If you guys ever want any services or products, now's the time to get them, because I guarantee you the deals will be over soon. And then you're going to be, oh, I have to spend more money. Anyways, take care. Thanks for checking in, guys.